I do.
Here and there. You actually don't curse that much. The screen is black, but they can hear you.
They can hear us.
Yeah. But I just thought that story was interesting.
Yeah, I've just uploaded some information.
Trying to pull up the podcast on the phone.
And what we'll do, we'll start from the dog that's been sneaking from a shelter. Did you see that?
That's so cute. Okay.
It repeatedly has been sneaking from the dog shelter and climbing over walls and everywhere and making its way to a nursing home.
That is so cute.
I think it's so cute for the the residents.
Mhm.
If you like dogs, of course. Do you see that story the other day that came out? Apparently a guy with an 18-foot boa, it was his pet and it was a bit aggressive and he went around him and strangled him.
What?
An 8-foot boa or 18?
18.
18, yeah. That's gonna either be a reticulated python or
A what?
Burmese python. A
A
reticulated.
boneless python?
It was
Burmese.
I think it was a Burmese. And he went around him and he got to the point and he went round his neck and it strangled him round his neck and stopped his blood flow.
Okay, I'm gonna put your faces up on the screen.
Are we ready to go? We're ready to go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Olympian Podcast. It's time to party here in good old Houston, Texas, and we're just going to talk about some of the stuff that's out there. Normally I'm here with two lone ladies, but unfortunately we've only got one today. So Courtney's got twice as much work to do. So we've got Courtney Guerra, one of the lone ladies at Lone Star Premium Mortgage. And we're just going to talk about all things bright and beautiful. Is that good?
Do we have
Do you think I'll make
about
the
bright and beautiful today?
Yeah? Do you think I'll make the choir? It was all. I'll know that was my favourite song at school.
I think I would stick to skating.
You think so? Yeah, that was my favourite song at school. It was really cool. Yeah, the only thing I wanted to do was play the piano, but I still tried to. Anyway, the first story we got today, I thought it was really cute, was something that I seen on good old-fashioned Yahoo News, and it says that a dog repeatedly escapes from a shelter and sneaks into a nursing home, which is right next to the shelter, and it keeps on doing it and finds different ways to sneak out the shelter. And I'm thinking, how cool is that? My mum's in a nursing home, and she would love to see a dog. She misses,
I've been to a lot of nursing homes before, and to see their faces when they see a little kid or an animal is crazy. They just,
They light up.
Yeah, they really do.
So I think it's really cool, and I hope nobody's trying to stop that. But, adopt the dog. That's what I said. The nursing home should adopt the dog.
Well, that would be sweet. That would be good for everyone involved.
But I think it's a real cool. When I first seen that, I thought we've got to talk about that. Let's start the show on a high, because that is really cool.
And the puppy is so cute too. He's like, I call all dogs puppies.
What type of mix do you think he is?
Courtney.
Maybe a German
Shepherd. That's what I
some
thought.
kind of German Shepherd mix. Kind of looks like a German Shepherd and Lab, maybe. But this poor dog's had a rough life. They don't know if it had any owners, but it did show sign of abuse. It had already been shot with either a BB gun or a bird shot, so you could feel like the BBs in its jaw area. And it literally climbed a 10-foot fence, 6-foot fence, and went across the highway and didn't go to this shelter once.
And nobody gave it an Olympic gold medal.
It didn't go there once. It's went there 3 times.
You know.
That's crazy.
It's so cool. You know, he wants to get out there. I just hope they're not shooting it in the shelter. But that's joking, of course. But, you know. But anyway, and then Courtney, you put this article in about this Texas town has about 250 people and it has 50 sworn police officers.
Yeah, that is crazy. And KHOU is actually kind of following this, and they're posting more on it, I think, tonight. But not only do they have so many police officers, they've made over $1 million in revenue in 1 year for that little town. On top of that, their officers have not so great backgrounds. A lot of them have had assault, DUIs, talking to known criminals, all of that.
And they've made $1 million.
They've made $1 million in revenue in 1 year.
The city.
Mm-hmm.
From
writing tickets.
Yeah, I was gonna say from traffic stops and things
Yep.
like that, right?
Well, you don't want to mess with anybody if they're a known criminal.
And they're going to talk about it more
What's the name
this
of the,
time.
Can you tell the name of the town?
Yeah, the name of the town is Coffee City.
Coffee City? I've never heard of that.
Hey, it's ready to go.
Yep, it's only about 3 hours away from here. And a lot of their off-duty and reserve people do a lot of off-duty jobs here in Houston. So even the chief of police here they've been on the radar here and have not been, bending to their whims, because they have been asking a lot of the officers here and trying to get them to write assault charges and stuff of that nature when they're like off duty doing like apartment complexes or parties or anything else. So it's kind of crazy.
That's so interesting, because in San Antonio there's a lack of police officers and this area is just over policed. That is.
Well, I just think there's a lack of good policemen. You know, but at the same time, I don't think they're paid enough.
Yeah, so this chief that is down there that hired all these people, when they started looking into his background, they even have him cussing out, I think, the chief here. And also on his application, they pulled that up. He didn't mention about getting a DUI and just not showing up to court, and still has an outstanding warrant for it.
The chief? The police chief?
Well, there's only one way he should go. Made to resign. Governor Abbott, why aren't you making him resign?
So they've even talked to the mayor of the city, and the mayor wasn't going to do anything about it. They said that there was no need for discipline.
Because he's scared?
I have no idea, but with 250 police officers in that, 50 police officers in that tiny little town, I think I'd be scared too. Yeah. Sounds like a mob situation.
It does.
Oh, and this is the tirade that you sent, right? Is this him going?
Yes, if you could show that, that would be great.
When dealing with others who wear the badge here in Harris County.
Coffee City's police chief routinely works an extra job 200 miles away at this Houston apartment complex. And on this day, watch how John J. Portillo behaves. It's an expletive-filled raid launched at the elected constable of Harris County Precinct 2, Jerry Garcia.
So that's the chief police of Coffee City.
Portillo wanted Precinct 2 to file charges on a man he says assaulted him in the complex. It was just one of many requests the constable says kept coming in from off-duty Coffee City cops.
Which at first was, no big deal. We help anybody and everybody. But then we noticed that it was becoming a pattern.
That pattern, the constable says, was Garcia reached out to the Harris County District Attorney's Office.
And we were advised to tell Chief Portillo that he had to file the charges.
But when deputies did just that, Portillo left a nasty voicemail.
And your captains and lieutenants, or whoever those numbnuts are that you have working for you, tell them your guys not to help us out.
It saddened me, it upset me to hear that. This isn't something small. This is pretty upsetting.
What upset the constable even more, the response his agency got back after alerting Coffee City's mayor. I don't see very much there that warrants any disciplinary action from the city, the mayor wrote. The officers are contracted by the property for off-duty police protection. You may want to reach out to them with any complaints.
Didn't think that it merited any disciplinary action against them. It's crazy.
Greg Freeman is a Sam Houston State criminal justice professor and retired Houston police captain.
Basically, you're enabling bad behavior now. And that's exactly what the mayor has done.
So what does Chief Portillo have to say for himself?
I was amped up. And I apologized to my city council, at city council.
Did you apologize to Constable Garcia?
No, I haven't had a chance. I haven't talked to him.
The cussing incident happened 6 months ago.
Is that the real John J. Portillo that people are seeing in this video?
No, I don't just go off the handle.
Well, you did hear.
Yeah, because I got socked in the face. I was mad. I was red, and I was upset because they wouldn't, help me file the charges.
It's not the only example we found that calls into question Portillo's character and integrity. In his application to become Coffee City's chief, he never listed this, a DWI charge out of Florida in which he failed to appear in court.
Why wouldn't you disclose that, Chief?
It was over 10 years ago.
You had an active warrant.
Huh? That was disposed of.
No, it wasn't. Court records show the day after our interview, Portillo hired a Florida defense attorney who filed a not guilty plea in the case.
From the looks of it, you weren't being truthful on the application to which you hold the job this day.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? You expect more of the police.
Don't worry, if I'm going towards Coffee City, I'm gonna go straight around that city, really far.
Take the scenic route.
Well, we definitely taking the scenic route there.
No.
Does that make you want to go to Coffee City?
It all depends what the coffee shops are like. I can keep myself out of trouble. So
Sure you can.
I'm good. I'm good at keeping out of trouble. I'm a good boy. I don't get into trouble.
So I think KHOU's 11's going to have some more on that tonight about him. And then also about his police officers that have been doing a lot of off-duty jobs around
the part
Houston.
I find fascinating is when you've got Harris County constables travelling 200 miles for an extra job. I mean, it's not as if it's on the doorstep.
I've talked to police before, and to be honest, they don't make a lot. These off-duty
But they don't make a
jobs
lot of money.
honestly make more. They make more doing these than their actual job.
Yeah, a lot of police officers are like security guards and things like that.
Because they're going to make
And they're
more.
not cheap. They're not cheap because we've looked at them for some of the associations that we manage, and they are not cheap at all. So, anyway, let's move on to the next topic. I thought this was interesting. Burger King faces a legal claim over the size of its Whopper. Have you heard about this? I think it is so funny. I don't know if you know, but Taco Bell had a lawsuit because apparently the photos didn't match the food itself. Now, how you can get a photo to match every single burrito that is made, I think is a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, but also most food pictures are fake. So, I mean, like, even the charbroiled look on this Whopper, it's painted on. So anything, even the steam, they use glue for cereal. They pour glue in a bowl and they just stick the cereal.
What are we going to start
on top.
doing? Suing models too for their doctored up pictures? I mean, it is what it is. They want to make it look appetizing.
A man did that in Korea because in South Korea, plastic surgery is very cheap and very common. His wife got, plastic surgery. She was beautiful. They married, He sued her because all of their kids were ugly. They had like 3 kids, and the first one he was like,
I've still got options.
Maybe.
I mean, if you're suing for that, what kind of relationship did you have in the first place?
Burger King must face a lawsuit alleges it makes a Whopper burger appear larger on its menus than in reality. A US judge has ruled. The lawsuit accuses the fast food giant of misleading customers by showing the burger with a meatier patty and ingredients that overflow the bun. The plaintiff claims are false, Burger King told the BBC. Rivals McDonald's and Wendy's are facing a similar lawsuit in the US. I think it's ridiculous, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, if you look at the actual picture on here,
if somebody
does that make you want to go get a burger?
No, it doesn't. But at the same time, if you want to eat that load of crap anyway, then just ask them for a refund.
Yeah, that's true, because it's fast food. It's not like, I could understand if it was like, I don't know, like, let's say Papa Do's or something, and it didn't look similar. I can understand that, but
I don't care about the look. If it tastes good, I'm great. That's all I care about.
I just think, if you're not happy with the food, why bother with the lawsuit? Just get your money back and run. And then never go back again. Why waste everybody's time?
Every day, maybe they just go back hoping that it looks like the picture and they're just tired of it.
Well, exactly, to be perfectly honest.
That's probably exactly what's happening. It'll look like it this time.
It's like, really? And then we'll move on next to photos are starting to come in from Hurricane Idalia. And have you seen some of these photos that are coming in? And this is what they're saying. They're saying that the hurricane hit on low tide. So basically, it was a 6 to 12 foot surge, and it was on a low tide. If it had hit on a high tide, then that would have been 6 to 12 foot on top of the high tide. And then when it gets to the other side, on the Carolina side, that's going to hit when it's on high tide.
I feel like we are making a lot of first this year. And I don't really like the first that we're making. We're like setting records for everything. California didn't have a hurricane for 80 years. Now we're doing what?
Well, I think it's climate change. Whether people say it's fake or whatever, I don't. I think it's climate change.
It says the Fox Forecast Center said Idalia was the strongest hurricane to strike the Big Bend area, especially near Cedar Key, in 125 years.
Did you see photos of the hurricane that hit China? There was a hurricane that hit China and the Philippines and Japan about 2 to 3 weeks ago.
I have not.
And it's the biggest one they've ever had. I mean, there was roads being washed away. And as the earth warms, that's apparently what happens. It puts more moisture in the air.
I feel like Florida's taken one for the team. I mean, we have...
Well, because Florida sort of sticks out.
Yeah.
And like I said to you when we was coming up to the podcast, there's a lot of people, when they move to Florida, they don't understand that Florida is not a cheap city. A state. Insurance is high. When visitors come into town, prices increase. It's not an easy place to live in. And the other part that I think is so difficult with Florida is the average age in Florida is it's considered a retirement state.
Yeah, because it's pretty and it's nice and tranquil, but there's a lot of
unless
tourists.
you've got a hurricane on your doorstep.
Yep. I know we've been dodging a lot of these hurricanes, so I hope none hit Houston this year, but our waters are perfect for,
I think we could get I think we could get a tropical storm You know, I mean, we're under a hot water ban at the moment. That's the ridiculous part. Here we are in Houston under a water ban. You know, we can only water our we can only water odd numbers to our houses Thursday and Saturday after 7 p.m. and 5 in the morning. So if you see me getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to water the yard, it's not a burglar.
I know. You know what's been one nice thing this summer? I haven't hardly had to mow my grass.
Yeah, because it's
the
turned
only
brown.
upside.
I drove my daughter to San Marcos and I was so disappointed in the grass because everything's so brown. And then I get back to Houston and now it's going that way in Houston as well. I mean, we've had so little rain.
I'm so surprised at how dry it is here this year. It's crazy. Because before I moved here, I used to visit here quite a bit. And it would just randomly start raining. I've literally seen it rain in 4 feet of area.
Right.
So,
I know, and I think we're on day number 67 or 68 without any measurable, rainfall.
Well, the other night, I'm doing my walk, because I do a walk every night, and I'm out there doing my walk, and I can feel rain in the air, and it was so fine, it's like it was evaporated before it even hit the floor.
Yeah. I almost cried when I heard that we were getting rain, and I sat outside, and I was like, where is it?
My problem is when I decide to water the yard, the dogs take all because they just want to chase the water. They just want to play in the water. So anyway, that's just normal life, I guess.
I'm praying
but
for Florida and everywhere else.
Can you just show that about that photo that I put in? About how it sort of affected Florida hurricane, ideally tracking live radar updates, power outages.
That was playing the video.
I mean, look at that.
It's not a photo, it's a video.
Is that amazing?
Because I think a lot of the damage is coming from
I mean,
the
really,
surge
if you think about it,
itself.
what he needs is, if you look to the left of the video, he needs that pair of pants.
Yeah, why is that there?
Pair of pants. What?
You see
The grey pair of pants. He needs the grey pair of pants.
This random advertising.
Oh my. Okay, I wasn't even looking in that direction.
Yeah, and these are really weirdly specific things that short girls.
I mean, what's the junk on the front?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it must be tailored to you because I don't have those on my screen.
Oh, that'd be a bit tight for me.
And it says, I with my husband. What are these ads? What the heck?
Why did they advertise that? You'd think it'd be a bit more. And the last thing I want to talk about is, the incredible fire. Let's talk about disasters in Hawaii. And there's a lot of residents in Hawaii that are upset with Oprah Winfrey because you got what you wanted. Outraged Hawaii resident blames Oprah Winfrey. Well, what's that got to do with it?
Read this. Oh.
She bought the land. I mean, she's lucky enough to buy land because it's very expensive.
Oh yeah, in Hawaii.
But I can't understand why people have that.
They said
She's purchased 2,000 acres of land in the tourist destination, showed up to provide aid to those who were without food and shelter during the deadly 4-day fire and burned down homes, businesses and land. But now she and Amazon founder Jeff Bezos are being blamed for the aftermath residents had to endure. A video clip from a Maui County Council meeting last Tuesday, August 22nd, has now gone viral after a woman known as Auntie complained about the lack of urgency to put the fires out. Nobody called us, our phones didn't work for 5 in the morning. The fire was not until 10 o'clock. When I went to work, she stated, noting that there was no water for hours and no warning from the government. Well, how can you blame Oprah for that?
I think they are in this right here. Someone, I guess, explained it.
But one of the things that I can't understand is I don't think you can necessarily blame the government for this, because the fire chief was the one that made the decision not to sound the alarm, because people would run for the hills, and that's where the fire was coming from.
So there's some conspiracy going on, is why they're blaming her. One is that she's only doing it for publicity, after she tried bringing in camera crews to the shelters in Maui. And then another theory is that she's connected to the start of the fires because none of her properties were burned.
I think
I think people are screwed up.
a lot of Hawaiians just want, they don't, like Hawaii doesn't want to be an American country. They want people to stay out because, you know, we are ruining Hawaii, like, because it's a tourist destination, and so they keep asking people to stay out. Like, they're like, please stop coming here because our land can't handle it. It's a really small place and it can't handle all the touristy things that are happening. So I think a lot of the natives are just
they won't.
They feel like
they won't
colonize. It's like the same thing with Native Americans.
Well, but they won't. They won't turn down the help that they get from the American government, I'm sure.
Hey, countries that, I mean, the Ukraine didn't either. So,
You know?
like, I mean, who's gonna turn down help? But, and it's their, I mean, in their eyes, it's our fault. So it's the least that
I don't quite go for.
Yeah, she has over 1,000 acres in Maui. That's a lot of acres for the tiny little island.
Good for her, and good for her future family. That's all.
She doesn't have any children.
So
she has none at all. No, but surely she's got some family, hasn't she?
I mean, she probably does, but Oprah has been a spinster forever. She
has
husband sleep in the guest. Like her boyfriend, they're not even married. She used to make him sleep in the guest house, and she used to sleep in the main house.
So they're thinking that, hey, she has these thousands of acres, and
must
all of
have
a
some
sudden, out of
family or
nowhere,
something.
a fire comes and destroys many homes near her, but her land remains untouched. No idea.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to go from there.
The most you can really say to that is it needs more investigation, but everybody's got these conspiracy theories that there's a reason that's not out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Hawaiian people are asking Americans to stop coming to visit, and there are more tourist destinations that we can go to. So that's the same thing with Ezra Miller when he started harassing all the Hawaiians.
I'm good. Hawaii is beautiful, but people don't like you there, and it's very expensive.
Yeah, they're extremely rude to Americans. They're like, get
I was
out.
offered a job in Hawaii in 1985, and I didn't decide to take it because the prices were so ridiculously high.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 1985. At an ice skating rink called the Ice Palace.
That sounds like a club.
Interesting. Moving on from Oprah.
Oprah and her quote unquote ways, but yeah, I think it's a little silly to blame it all on Oprah. But I mean, I don't want to go anywhere where I'm not welcome. So, because that sounds dangerous, and sooner or later they're gonna burn down her house.
Wow.
That just sounds scary.
I don't know. I feel like, for me, Hawaii is really pretty and everything, but it's just, if you want to go anywhere, nowhere is close. You're very, very secluded. You know, you're secluded to the island. Like, if you live in a state here, you can go all over the place.
How far is it from California to Hawaii?
Ooh, I'm not sure. It's probably only a few hundred miles. It's not.
I thought it was a 5-hour flight.
No, it's a 5-hour flight. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a 5-hour flight. It ain't a couple hundred miles. It's far.
It is. Oh, it is 2,000 miles, 2,500 miles, 2,471. So, just about.
Yeah.
4 hours away. Yeah, I feel like we should all just follow Steven's footsteps and everybody just go to Thailand because it's cheaper and it's just as tropical. And there's elephants.
I'm going to Mexico.
I want to scrub the elephants.
I'm going to Indonesia.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up for now. We missed Laura this morning, and we always will. So get well, Laura. My football team, my soccer team are playing this afternoon. Aston Villa, they're playing in the Conference League. We beat Burnian last week 5-0. So after this show, I'll be watching them, and we'll see how they do this afternoon.
No one try to contact Steven.
No, forget that.
He has something very important.
Yeah, I was even going to wear my Aston Villa shirt this morning.
You should have.
Yeah. So anyway, and so thank you, Courtney, for coming on. How do we get hold of you?
Yeah, you can get a hold of me by emailing me at Courtney@lspmortgage.com.
So if you're looking for a loan, looking to buy a property, you're looking to invest, looking for hard money, short money, whatever type of money you're looking for, this is the lady with the money bags. And she'll be able to help you. If you're looking to just generally invest or you need information, please contact Century21TX.com. That's it's C21OlympianTX.com. Then we would love to hear from you. If you would like to call me, it's broker@C for Charlie, the number 2, the number 1, Olympian.com. So we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good Labor Day next Monday. We'll all be enjoying a good day off. Eating a bit of. What are you going to do Labor Day? Are you going to do a bit of barbecue?
I don't know. Hopefully,
what do you do Labor Day?
relax.
Play with your snakes?
I don't know. I might go swimming or something.
With your snakes?
No.
Okay. All right.
Hey, snakes swimming are kind of cool though.
They are?
Mm-hmm. They're fast.
Oh, not for me. Okay. Not for me. I'll be keeping to chickens. Okay. So until next week, we'll see you next week. We'll wrap it up. Thank you to Kay. And we will see you next Wednesday around 10:30. Thanks a bunch. Bye-bye.